Welcome to Just Between Us, the podcast with all of the answers, some of the time.
We're your hosts. I'm Diana Vickers.
And I'm Alice Giddings.
Every week we'll take your calls, listen to your stories and answer your burning questions.
And of course, we'll be sharing our own experiences because, let's be real, we've all made some very questionable decisions along the way.
And that's
Just Between Us.
Right, my favourite bit, we get to hear from the caller.
I know.
Who do we have this week?
We have Rebecca. So let's not waste any time. Let's get her on the line.
Get her on.
This week's caller's voice has been altered to protect their privacy.
Hello, girls.
Hi. Is that Rebecca?
Yes, it's me.
Hey, honey.
Where are you calling us from, Rebecca?
I'm in France.
Oh, bonjour.
Bonjour.
I just got back from there. Oh my God, I love it. And how old are you?
I'm 24.
24.
Yeah.
And so, just between us, what can we help you with today, Rebecca?
So, I'm calling because I recently moved away from where I lived for 6 years. And right before I left, I met this boy. Obviously, it had to happen right before I was going home.
Classic.
So I met him, and now I'm struggling a little bit with my relationship. We're not officially together or anything. We're still getting to know each other, but obviously the distance is so hard, especially in the beginning. So yeah, and also when I was in the UK, I had such awful relationships that absolutely crushed any sense of confidence or anything. And now he's a really good guy now, but I still struggle. I don't know how to handle a good guy anymore. I think I forgot. So yeah, that's why I'm calling.
Oh, bless you. I totally get this. Well, if you've got a good egg, you want to cling on to them because they are far few. What's the saying?
Few and far between.
Few and far between. That's not the classic saying. I can totally relate to this because I was with someone in a long-term relationship in the first year of our relationship. I was on tour. So I was on tour for 9 months and I would see him once a week. Yeah, and it's really hard because you're so madly in love, and obviously at the beginning you just want to get enough of them as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And you just want more and more. But I do think actually sometimes long distance relationships can be really quite fun and magical, because how often do you try and see each other?
I try to once a month.
Okay, all right. And then how long for during that month? How a few days?
6 days to a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's quite a good amount of time.
Yeah.
And it's sort of, also a really good story. I do think a lot of long distance relationships are really brilliant. I have a friend whose parents have been together since they were so young, and he would go away he's captain of a ship, and he would go away for 3 weeks, and they are still so madly in love with each other. 3 weeks, come home 3 weeks, and I think sometimes it actually keeps things alive a bit.
Yeah.
I think so.
To be honest, I don't mind the long distance, to be fair. It's just starting on long distance is so hard because obviously you're do we do it or not? And that's why we're not officially together as well.
Okay.
Because
Exactly.
What's the point?
So you spoke a little bit about having bad dating experiences before.
Yeah.
Walk me through that. What has happened that has kind of damaged that trust or maybe confidence in you and your dating life?
So my first relationship was it was just not working at all. There was a bit of cheating from him as well. And I was very young. I was 18, 19, 18 to 21. And that was my first ever relationship, first everything. So obviously, I knew I couldn't trust him, but I loved him so much, or at least that's what I thought. I loved him so much that I was like, no, I'll try and make it work. And after 3.5 years, I was like, you know what, fuck it. So that was the first one. And then I got another one that was not official as well, but it was going really well. And I came back from a holiday and he was with another girl.
Oh.
So
What did you walk in on
Love it.
them or anything?
So yeah, basics, like
What?
not at his house, but I figured it out on social media that he was having a full-on relationship with someone else.
Wow. Women are detectives also, by the way. Like, the men cannot get away with this. If someone's social media, I can hunt it all down. I did that once. I did it, babe.
Yeah.
We should work for the CIA.
No, what was funny is that my best friend saw them in public. And she was like, "Are you still seeing him?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Like,
oh my God.
I think they're more than friends.
That's so damaging. That is just so not the message that you want to open to from your best friend. It makes me feel sick to the stomach. It's
Yeah,
horrible.
I was so sick, but so grateful that she was there, though.
Yeah.
100%.
Absolutely, or you wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
I think it can be really, really jarring. You are not the pattern, babe, in this. When people cheat, those cheaters, it's their pattern, it's their behaviour, and it's nothing to do with you. I'm such a strong believer that there's nothing that you can do. If someone's going to cheat, it's everything to do with them, and they're going to cheat. You can be anxious, you can be paranoid, you can overthink, you can ask them a million questions. Where are they? But at the end of the day, it's kind of that theory of let them, isn't it?
Yeah. And also, what's happened in the past isn't a predictor of the present or the future.
No way.
And it's so easy to think that is how it works.
The thing is, when I was with, like, we weren't together, but when I was seeing that second guy, I trusted him so much, so much. And I was like, well, I was a bit shocked of myself because I thought I was never going to trust someone again. And then I trusted him and he did that. And I was like, fuck me, what am I doing? Like,
so does your current partner, does he know about kind of your past experiences with men?
He does know about my first and only official relationship. He doesn't know about that second guy because I didn't think it was relevant since I never actually dated him. But he knows I had a little bit of trust issues that I actually don't have with him. Like, I trust him 100%. We're not in the same country, but I know he's never gonna stab me in the back or anything. It's just what I struggle with as well is he lives in the city that I lived for 6 years. And I just I love knowing that he's doing so much stuff all week and the weekend and everything. But me being back home and working all the time and having a few friends here, because obviously I wasn't here for the past 6 years, so you lost kind of all the connections you had, and everyone, including him, being in the same city without me gives me such FOMO as well.
Horrible. You feel like you're missing out. It's a nightmare. I hate FOMO.
Yeah.
Okay, well, right, let's get to the bottom of this then. I think you're so fabulous for being able to trust your new partner, even though you've been through a load of rubbish. Because I think we all have either known someone who's been cheated on or have been cheated on ourselves. There's actually 48% of the UK has said they've been cheated on. So again, certainly nothing to do with you.
It's a universal problem.
Yeah, it is.
It's so annoying. And I think, I speak from experience of this, is it can sometimes give you some sort of anxious attachment.
Yeah.
And I think long distance really exacerbates that, because when you have that sort of attachment style, and I think you've done really well to kind of self-regulate and not fall into that trap, but we connect in, relationships by being, not everyone does, but by being physical is a huge part of that intimate connection. And so when you have a whole month where you're only seeing each other for a handful of days, that can be really, really hard.
It's so hard, especially at the beginning as well, when you just want to rip each other's clothes off and stuff. You're like, where's my person? You just want to be around them. But there is so much stuff you can do. The internet's amazing, babe. Not the old FaceTime. Some FaceTime sexy sex and some really sexy sexy pics and stuff. Do you guys do
Yeah,
that?
definitely. Like we text a lot, which is great. But again, like like I know he's busy, but if he doesn't text me for like, I don't know, half a day, I'm like overthinking it already. I'm like, no, what is he doing? Like he's just at work.
Yeah. Oh,
But like if I have time, I want him to have time. But obviously, it's not like this all the time. But yeah, it just gets quite frustrating.
I know. I totally get that. Do you, before you see each other, so say you see each other every, did you say like 4 weeks or 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Do you sort of really put effort into that time? Do you plan like a full schedule of all the things that you're going to do and really look forward to it? Great.
Yeah, we do that. And we keep like one of the days where we'd have nothing planned, and if we just want to chill, that we can do it as well.
Yeah, and I'd say actually one of the days, just never get out of bed, babe. That's what I do.
Exactly.
Don't bother.
Also, you've got the opportunity to spend like 3 weeks just building that tension, which I think could be really, really sexy.
I agree. That's quite nice.
So sexy.
Yeah, like dirty voice notes, pictures, or I will say with pictures, always send them on a timer, especially if you're in a new relationship, so they can't be saved. But that's just me being extra cautious.
Yeah.
I actually once sent a lover that I knew I wasn't going to see for about 3 weeks. I took a Polaroid and sent it and posted it to them.
Oh my God.
Sealed with a kiss, and they went wild for it.
That's so funny because I thought of that. I actually thought of that.
You should do it,
Like,
and some
yeah.
sexy underwear as well.
100%.
Like, definitely mix it up. Definitely do that. And I don't know how long. Have you ever heard of these vibrators that you can attach to
The remote one.
Yeah, the remote ones.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like, I don't know whether they can work from overseas or not, but surely.
I think they can because I think it's an app.
Is it an app?
Yeah.
I do think they work across the ocean.
Hello. I think there's some call for going out and doing some sort of sexy vibrator remote control thing there.
Yeah,
Because I did that with an ex. We had this sort of toy together, and we were out on a night out. We were just, you've got to
turning it up and down.
Yeah, just having a little bit of fun with
I
it.
love that.
Yeah,
Very
why not?
Yeah, no, that's funny.
There was one thing you mentioned, Rebecca, which stuck out to me, and it was about missing him if he, he's at work, but he's not messaging and stuff. And I think one thing where even if you're just like, oh, come on, can he message, or, or whether it makes you slightly nervous or anxious being so long distance, I think it's really beneficial to set expectations and boundaries around frequency of communication, because that can really foster that trust that, for you in previous relationships has been shattered, and it can make the trust that you have with your current partner even stronger, and that leads to better sex.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
So if he knows just to like consistently drop you one text in the morning, saying something lovely, like that's just going to make you so much more attracted to him as well. And that means that when he fulfills that promise every day, that trust gets stronger because you can rely on him.
So Alice is very good at making a little action plan. So what would you say that the action plan is here, Alice?
Rebecca, you've already smashed it, really, considering, you spoke about having such a bad experience with some men in your past. But I think where we go from here, or where you go from here, is we definitely want to start by building up that tension, that sexual tension throughout those 3 weeks. I love the Polaroid idea. Well done. And so great that you'd already thought of it. So I would definitely do that, because I can't imagine a guy who wouldn't want to receive a really sexy photo of his partner.
She's winning the jackpot, babe.
Yeah.
Jackpot.
And when you see each other, I think you've already nailed it with the carving out time, and that I would enhance it by really improving that communication with him in terms of boundaries of when you want to see each other, when you want to talk to each other. And also in general, just being I think, more open about what has happened to you in the past, if there is anything that ever triggers that kind of anxious response, maybe if, you know, he doesn't reply at a certain time and you get anxious. And it's okay to bring it up again and give someone context as to why you might be feeling a little bit left out or anxious, because you mentioned getting FOMO as well. So I would really just keep that open line of communication going. And I think you're going to be great.
Like the problem with communication is I'd like to like tell him exactly what I think and how I feel, but I'm so scared to be too much as well.
No, this is anxious attachment.
Yeah.
TNT. And I say that as a girl with anxious attachment sometimes that I work on. But the feeling of being too much leads to self-sacrificing what you want and your desires, because you don't want to be too much for someone or put pressure on someone. And it's so normal to do that. Like 20% of people in the UK have anxious attachment styles. So that's literally like a fifth of the UK.
Hello, hola.
But honestly, you're going to enjoy your relationship and your sex so much more if you just say exactly what you want. And it doesn't have to be an ultimatum. It can just be, this is my hope for the future, for our future. What are your thoughts? And it doesn't have to be like a sit down conversation. It can be mentioned in passing. You can plant those seeds and see what reaction you get, because honestly, if he's smart, he will want to be with you. If he is doing this long distance, it sounds like he's invested.
Yeah, you don't do long distance for someone you're not serious about. And honestly, I have learned now, I am nearly 34 now in my dating, and you can never say or be too much for the right person. I genuinely believe that. I look back on the last guy that I was seeing and I go over things again, thinking, oh, maybe if I didn't say that or that, and just go, no, but that is who you are. That's what those are your wants, those are your needs, and you shouldn't have to hold back and not be truthful about them. You can never be too much for the right person, babe.
Yeah,
Amen.
That's very true.
Amen.
I need to remember that. I forget about it.
I actually have that note
everything
written down in my notes. I had it in my screensaver for a while. I was like, you can never be too much for the right person. So
I love that. That's the 2025 mantra right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, Rebecca, thank you so much for calling us today.
Thank you, girls.
No, we've loved having you on. Thank you so much.
Thank
and
you
thank you
so
for being
much.
so honest.
Yeah, just keep us in the loop, okay?
Yes,
and,
will
hopefully,
do.
Yeah, hopefully we've helped, and hopefully
You
speak
have.
to you soon. Oh, great.
Thank you. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.
Bye. I love her. I thought she was great and adorable. It's when I was her age, I was just coming out of a long-term relationship. And I was going back into I was like, I had about like 3 months, and I was going back into another long-term relationship again. But I do feel that I get that anxiety that when you picked up on her anxious attachment sort of thing, like I can definitely feel that. And maybe I'm more anxious attached now than I was actually more in my 20s. I was more of a secure then.
Really? That's interesting.
Because I was in it with a 5-year and I was just so secure in that. And then it was my 2-year that made me into an anxious attacher.
Oh, why? Why? What was the kind of breach of trust or something?
It was, he didn't do any, I trusted him completely. It was really great. It's just, I communicated. He wasn't very good at communicating his emotions. At the beginning he was, and then he wasn't, he wanted to be an actor and his work was super important to him. And so was mine, but he wasn't very good at balancing it. And he was very independent, so was I, but wasn't very good at bringing the two together. And wasn't very expressive of his emotions, so it made me a bit needy. So I'd be like, when is he going to say I love you next? And so I was always on pins waiting out for it.
Yeah. And I guess you feel kind of neglected as well a little bit, just in terms of the fact it's like he can't get that balance right. And it's like, why? Like, why don't you want to get that balance right? Why can't you see me?
Exactly. And then whenever he did say I love you, like it felt like a reward or something. And I was always like, oh, he said I love you. What did I just do then? Did I do something good? What was that actual moment? And then you overthink things all the time. Yeah. So, yeah.
Overthinking is like staple anxious attachment, like over analyzing, wondering, reading into things, wondering what it means. Like, it's something I do as well, having like been cheated on in the past. Like, my first boyfriend cheated on me.
I'm sorry. Not a great
He did everything.
step into the dating world, is it?
No. And I was just like, really? Like,
was this the guy you lost your virginity to?
Yeah.
He sounds like a bit of a wrong 'un, babe.
But that's being nice. But no, I completely get you, because it's so hard to, because it goes in a vicious cycle, because you want to be close to them so that you're spending time with them and getting that validation, but then they either feel smothered and then pull away.
Yeah. Why do you think that? Because her story, Rebecca's story, she had 2 guys cheat on her. And I'm not saying that it's always men, but is it mostly men? What are the stats on that? Do you know that? Or why is it men that cheat more? Have you got any stats for me, Alice? You're very good at this.
I don't have stats on men or women, but I do think men get bad rep with it. I don't think it's as many men as we think. It's 33% of the UK population admit to cheating on someone. So that's a third of the UK population. And it's, I think women talk about it more, which is why the narrative leans towards men being those people who cheat.
That is so interesting, because you are so right. Men, I wish they were more open about their feelings, but they don't really talk about them as much. So that's very interesting.
I think just the narrative around cheating in general is everyone's got a cheating story. It's one of those really kind of universal experiences. And I think that, unfortunately, it's become so normalized in society today, where we just kind of not expect it, but you're like, well, I should have seen that coming. And I do think that we give people, because of their personality traits, we give people a free pass or a let off on it and blame ourselves for the cheating as well a lot of the time.
It's just so weird with cheating as well, because obviously, back in the day, marriage was just, this one person for you, and it was all very traditional and very religious. Whereas actually now we're in a way more promiscuous society, aren't we? And I don't condone it, or I don't understand it, but I do know that actually, for some people, it might not be right, or they really, really love someone, but then they have a connection with someone else. And because as people, we're a lot more complex now, and we're not doing it or marrying people a lot because of religion, or, it can be really, really confusing. There's a lot of temptation everywhere as well because of dating apps, and we obviously go out and party and mingle more, whereas back in the day, we weren't doing that. We were just waking up and, married and looking after our kids and
popping them out.
Exactly. And that was it, really.
And then, like you mentioned with the dating apps.
Oh, I know.
They're the pits. Nightmare. They are the pits.
There was a guy, and I think we were chatting online, and he wouldn't meet me. Again, he wouldn't meet up with me, and I didn't understand why. I'm not even joking. Look, I just saw that he posted a picture, and it was like a picture of him and his partner that moved in.
It's so jarring.
And I was like, what is going on here? And I had no idea. And then I don't know if it's worked out. So then he's been trying to reach out again. No.
Do you want the real bombshell?
Oh, go on.
I had broken up with my boyfriend. And this is like 4 months after that at this point. I get a message, a screenshot of my ex-boyfriend's Bumble profile. And it says dad to be.
No.
Yeah. And 2 weeks after we broke up, he got a girl pregnant. And
my God.
he has a son now. Obviously we don't speak, but he has a full walking, talking child.
Being. I'm telling you now, people move mad. That's wild. Oh, that is so jarring.
I know.
Absolutely,
I was
babe.
fuming because everyone else found out before me as well, and they were like messaging me. They were like, "Isn't that your ex-boyfriend?" And I was just like, "Yep."
It's so triggering. That is so triggering. Find out the info. It's bad enough finding out that your ex is on a dating app after you've broken up, let alone the information that they're going to be your dad. What about long distance for you? Have you ever done that?
During COVID, yes. I feel like everyone got forced to do long distance in COVID. And then I like struck up, I like rekindled a flame with one of my ex-boyfriends when he just went to Canada. But that wasn't really a relationship. That was just like really intense, like sexting for 3 months maybe.
Okay.
Until I realized that he was like, "Oh, I'll fly you out to Canada," and I was like, "That's really romantic, but also that's going to put so much pressure on me, so I'm not going to do it."
No.
But it was all just a bit bizarre, really.
Yeah. How did you find all that? Did you find
I
it
hate
sexy?
it.
No.
No, I don't like long distance. I'm too impatient. I'm
Yeah.
so impatient, and I just get antsy because I like physical touch is one of my love languages.
Amen.
But yeah, what about you?
I'm a weird one because I love space. I'm very intertwined, but I really love my independence and I love my space. And the thought of, even now, I really, really want to meet my partner forever. But the thought of sometimes us like getting married and then moving in together and him being there all the time, or if he had like a 9 to 5 job, I'm like,
Why?
I can't breathe. It's like, he's going to be on top of me. Like, I need some space to breathe. Like, I feel it. I really enjoyed when I had a long-term relationship at the beginning. Like I said, when I was speaking to Rebecca, it was the first 9 months, 8 or 9 months I was away, and it just felt really nice. It felt like he was working loads during the week, I was doing my thing, and then I'd travel overnight in the arse end of nowhere in England to come and crawl into bed with him, and we just have planned the next day so perfectly. We'd planned our little outfits to impress each other, and also we were super romantic. I remember once I was in Edinburgh, and it took its toll on me because I was really tired. It must have been about 6 months in, and I did miss him. And yes, there is also that case of you want to rip each other's clothes off and just get to know each other and love each other more, and it's too much. And I was feeling a bit down, and at end of the show, I walked into my dressing room in Edinburgh and he was stood there in a kilt.
Oh, what a cutie.
It's one of the most romantic things anyone's ever done for me. So I feel we did it well, and I feel like if you can do it well, then you can have loads of fun with it.
Did you spice it up?
How
How did you keep it spicy if you're...
Oh, we really spiced it up. We were really good. I was also doing quite a sexy show as well. So I was doing Rocky Horror. So
Ooh,
I
fun.
was dressed quite sexy. So we'd always get like a cheeky like before going on stage pic. And I remember like, traveling home to see him. I'd make sure that I'd go to get my little nice nighty bits and bobs.
Ooh, did we have an everything shower?
What's an everything shower?
You've not had an everything shower?
What does that mean?
Where you do top to toe, manicure, everything.
An everything shower? Is that what they call it?
Yes, that's what it's called.
I didn't know that.
Some landscaping and scrubbing.
But yeah, I think you do. I think sometimes when you have that time, say you're seeing each other all the time, or, I lived with, my ex for 5 years, all of a sudden the toilet door's open and someone's, doing the business, or you don't have the time and you do follow those patterns. Whereas if you've got a bit of time, you can do those things and you can go get your toes done and your little wax. And I really enjoyed that part of it.
When I did long distance with my ex, during COVID, forced long distance, we used to have dinner dates. So we would FaceTime, and we wouldn't do anything sexy, but we would just FaceTime, both sit down with our dinner, like light a candle and just have like a chat.
That's really one for Rebecca to know, the FaceTime by candlelight and some little glass of cheeky red. I love that.
Rebecca, remember.
If you're listening,
do it.
But candlelight, red wine dinner.
Romantic dinners on FaceTime.
Yeah, I love that. I do think there is pros and cons to it. Oh my God, now it is time for the hot take of the week.
Oh yeah.
Hit it.
What's your craziest revenge story after getting cheated on?
I wrote a funny comedy song about them.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yeah, and it went a bit viral. And
I need to hear this.
yeah,
I
it's
need to
really,
hear
really
this.
funny. And I just don't think that they liked it.
I'm sure they didn't, but I'm sure it was great.
But I was like, you know what I'm going to do in this situation? I'm going to take something that upset me and they mugged me off, and then I'm going to mug them off, and I'm going to do it through song and comedy.
I love
And
that.
I feel also there's just no, also, you know, whenever someone really lets you down or someone, the sweetest, sweetest revenge is just doing really well in life and just smashing it and being everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I would say it wasn't when I got cheated on. I was meant to see, we were on and off, so we weren't officially boyfriend and girlfriend, but I was meant to see my boyfriend at the time. And he basically said that he was cancelling on me to go and see someone else, another woman.
What?
And I was like, okay, you want to play this game? Yeah,
Right.
I can play too. So I went on a date with a really hot rugby player
Yes, queen.
who played for Saracens at the time. And yeah, and he watched that. He saw it on my story and came to me the next day, and he was like, "Oh, what do you mean? Like, that's really rubbish. Why did you do that?" And I was like, "Why do you think I did it? You went out with someone else. I can't go out with someone else."
Absolutely.
Toxic, tit for tat. But when
But
you're
any-
young and
yeah.
you're like, I feel burned.
Absolutely. Go out with the fit rugby guy.
He was so handsome.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, yeah, good for you, girl. I think so. You do it, I'll do it better.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Great revenge.
Thanks.
Rebecca, we absolutely loved hearing from you. I think it just gave us some really good stories then to talk about. And thank you so much for sharing. We loved it. And stay in touch.
Yeah, give us a bell. Don't leave us hanging.
We want to know.
If you've got a story or you've got a burning question, then email us at justbetweenus@metro.co.uk or join our WhatsApp group. The link is in the bio.
And make sure that you follow us on Instagram and TikTok on JBU Pod for all the backstage chaos. Until next time, keep it messy, keep it honest.
And remember, it's just between us. And don't forget to follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode.